All right, today I want to talk about doing hard things. And this is really something that if you just want to take away like the first 30 seconds, this is my recommendation. If you are not satisfied with where you are in life, or that mentally you feel down all the time, you feel lazy, you're not able to, you know, focus your mind, or you're not able to be somewhat disciplined, you're always on like social media, Instagram. My suggestion for you is to start doing hard things. Specifically, I recommend hard physical things. I'll talk more about the benefits later if you stay on the video. But that is something that I learned. Like, the only reason why I'm saying this is because I don't think I'm unique in this world. I think that if it worked for me, it probably works for other people. And if you're watching the video, it's probably because you're looking for some type of answer. As I said in my first video, maybe you should spend time like internally searching for the answers. But this is something that you can try, and in the first month, you probably will see results. But that's my suggestion for you. If you want to drop off now, then you can drop off now. I'll now be talking more about the background of like how I got to this conclusion and why I think that this works and why it worked and is currently working for me. So a little background about doing hard things is that when I was in university, I really think I was a different person mentally. Obviously now I grew. I think my EQ is higher. I think I'm more conscious. I think I'm more spiritually inclined. So I think I do have more knowledge. I'm more aware of myself and stuff like that. But I definitely had a better attitude when I was in university. And at the time, I did not understand why, because, I was studying a program that I did not like, but I was still able to do the exams, get good grades, and, just push myself through things that I didn't like. And even after finishing university, when I started working full time, when I first started, I was still able to, do hard things. I was able to push myself. I was less distracted. But as the years went by, I just started slowly realizing that like I can no longer focus myself. I'm no longer able to push myself. And the worst time was during the pandemic. I was just at home and I was unfocused. I was depressed. And yeah, sometimes, people, it's understandable, the pandemic was a very difficult situation for everyone, and that might be one of the reasons. But something I only realized today is that one of the reasons that there is such a difference between who I was in university and who I am today, or up until today, is that I stopped doing hard things, hard physical things. In university, I was part of the badminton varsity team. And after that, I transitioned to track and field. Every single practice that I did, I always pushed myself. I always remember being tired, being gassed, but always feeling good afterwards. And unfortunately, after my track and field transition, I got an injury. And because of that, I was not able to push myself physically anymore. And I never connected the two dots. For me, it was, the reason why I'm unfocused now, or I don't feel as good about my life, stuff like that. I really thought it was because of my career. I was like, my career is the reason why all these problems are happening to me. If I found what I loved, or if I found my passion, or if I just did something that I like, I would not feel this way. And there is certainly a part of it that is due to that. But today, I realized it was really the fact that I stopped doing hard things. Throughout my whole childhood, every single time there was a physical activity, I would always give myself 100%. Like, I would always go hard all the time. And it was easy for me. I was doing it unconsciously. I wasn't giving any effort on it. But these past few years, because I was injured, I was so scared of, pushing myself and stuff like that. So every single practice that I was doing, I wasn't able to, discipline myself enough to push through. And it didn't help. This is something I'm going to talk about later again, but it didn't help that I tried to do everything myself. going to the gym, my badminton practices, my trap practices. After my injury, when I came back, I tried the self-discipline route and it did not work for me. What actually worked for me, and this is like an unpopular opinion, according to, if you listen to David Goggins or if you listen to all these like hustle people or discipline people, it's all about self-discipline. It's all about like, you should be able to, push yourself. You should be able to go to the gym. You should be able to do this, do that. And I realized that I was so low in a point that I hated doing hard things that I had absolutely no self-discipline. And so something that I actually suggest and something that works for me and that might work for you, again, it always comes down to you. Like you need to think about, does it work for me? Does it not work for me? What worked for me is finding someone else, like a coach or a trainer or a group that will help you get through these hard things. So this summer, I started a badminton training camp. I'm doing 3 on-court trainings, 1 off-court training, and there is no self-discipline. The only self-discipline there is that I actually need to get myself to the place and listen to what the coach says. And then the only focus I have is just do your best. I'm like, Nick, I know it hurts. I know you're dying, but just do your best and push through. And what I realized is that that's what I needed at the time. Like, that's what I need right now. I'm not able to push myself. I'm not at that point yet. Maybe, hopefully one day I will be. Maybe by doing hard things, right? Someone else is pushing me to do hard things. Maybe I'll train my brain enough where one day I can be like David Goggins and be like, 5 a.m., let me go for a 50K run. But at the moment, I'm not like that. And so I'm so glad that I realized that, like, if you're not disciplined enough to go yourself, go find yourself a group that will push you to do hard things. And then at least you're doing the hard things. And some of the benefits, honestly, I've only been doing this for 2 weeks, but I feel more focused at work. I sleep better. Obviously, because it's physical, I feel more fit. Whenever a hard task comes at work, I am less likely to procrastinate. And I really do feel there's a connection between the fact that in training, I'm pushing myself, and the fact that when something that I don't like happens at work, I'm able to push through. I'm not a scientist, so don't quote me on this. I don't know if this is backed by science or anything. But I do know that somehow it's linked. Somehow your brain, whenever you do hard things, even if it's being pushed by someone else, it just trains your brain that when there's something hard or something you don't like, it just, you pass the hurdle. There's a hurdle in front of you, and as you keep jumping the hurdles, you just get better at jumping them. And then hopefully one day you won't need, or I won't need someone to actually tell me to push through that hurdle. I'll be able to do it myself. But that's the realization I had. So I would really suggest people, if you don't know your path in life, or you feel a bit depressed, or you feel like you're lazy all the time, you don't have self-discipline, if you're willing to try something, try 2 to 3 times a week. Do a hard physical thing and find what works for you. For me, because I love badminton, it's badminton. Because I love, outdoor training and running, it is that thing. But if for you, it could be martial arts, it could be swimming, it could be running, it could be anything. Just find what you like and what you're able to use to push through. If you have the self-discipline to do it, then go ahead and try and do that. If not, find yourself a group that will help you push yourself. And I guarantee that you will see results. You will see that your life gets better. And yeah, so that's it. That's my video today. It works for me. And so hopefully you can try it for a month. And if it works for you, let me know down in the comments below. Do hard physical things. Peace.